So, let's see. Oh, we got, okay, got sound is once again not on, but I can fix that. OBS is a little cranky sometimes. There we go. Sound has been turned on. So, let's share it on Twitter. Hey, Amethyst! Nice to see ya! So, there. And now let's share this elsewhere here. Let me share everywhere. So, oof, and here, and here, plop. There we go. How am I doing? I'm doing fine. I just had some ramen because my brother went out and got some ramen kits to make like fresh ramen from scratch, not from scratch, but like, you know, quickly at home. It was really good. It came a little bit later than I expected, hence why the stream is late. But hey, we're doing it now, and also we don't have to do like as much as usually now because I already did half of this chapter. I hope it was half. I really hope it was half. Because if that wasn't half, then I don't even know. So, I'll have some homework to do tomorrow, but that's fine. So. Oh, Amethyst, you're not doing too hot? Are you okay? What's going on? Are you fine? Oh! Yeah, maybe try to take it easy, then. Try to take it easy. So, I'll wait a little bit. Meanwhile, I'm putting up like here. Okay, the last sentence we have to read tonight is I ended up patiently waiting until the moment that Philia started moving, like started walking again. I ended up waiting patiently until the moment that Philia started walking again. That's the sentence to which we are supposed to read today. Mrs. Leslie, that, and I'm also losing in Mario Party 1. Why are you even playing that? You're going to ruin the controller. You're going to give yourself Joy-Con drift, my friend. Let's see. Anyway, it's great to have you around, so let's just get started. I don't think we'll miss too much. The title of today's stream should like clue you in or remind you of where we are right now. And Mrs. Leslie, I want the chaos. Get an N64, please. There's really cheap replacement controllers for that one. Anyway, I would never play Mario Party on the Switch. No, when you do this on a Switch controller, you destroy €60. You do not want to do this. And you can't even just not do it because you know somebody else will do it. Anyway, we're going back to where we were. It is at the ruined city. The ruined metropolis, even. Which is like a really nice setting to have. Hi, Maddie! See, it's great that you're here. So, let's see how much further we go tonight. Click! Okay. さら地になっているが。Okay, I need to translate some kanji right off the bat. Because I know all these kanji, but I don't know what they mean when you put them together. Hi? Ich muss Ding machen. Das ist für die Uni. Sorry. Ah, sorry, my brother just came in. So here we go. I see. Let's continue. Hi, Novastar! Okay. I think I'm getting the gist of what it's supposed to mean here. So, I just need one more word. Big words confuse me, everybody. You should know this. This place may have been abandoned, but there are cases where these ancient companies still are somebody's private property. That is interesting. That is interesting. What have you guys been talking about? Cecily, Bowser just took 40 coins from me and I'm just not getting his face right. I'm not getting his face right. I love that minigame. Maddie in chat, Mario Party 1 is a lot of things. It's where the most chaos in the series is. That's very true. I love Mario Party 1. It's in my collection, like in my Nintendo 64 collection. Music by Yasunori Mitsuda, which is wild. Yeah, the music in Mario Party 1 is neat. Amethyst does in the chat. Ah, yes, him and his 200 scrap tracks, cause he was like, wait, you wanted big bands? Let's continue. Anyway, we need to focus on the story. The story here being right now that he said, okay, this place may have been abandoned, but there are cases where these ancient companies still are somebody's private property. They need to be properly secured in order to not make a fool out of themselves with their property. The moment you notice a security device anywhere, immediately leave the place where you are. Okay. Not okay and not okay. Just go away. Even... If we're barely in and you already notice security systems, that is... Man, wait, hang on, I'm using the other dictionary for this. Actually, I can just replay his line. Let me replay his line, it makes it easier. Meyasui, okay. Okay, okay, what he's saying here, not okay or not okay, just leave if you see it. Be on your guard right from the start. That should be a standard procedure here. Hi, Ilu! Currently petting a cat. Oh, that's neat. Yeah, the moment you say get out, I'm getting out. That's all, right? Yeah, it is. Nice. The moment you see anything that seems suspicious, try to... Wait. Oh, Satsui. She can do that? Okay. The moment you see anything suspicious, try to make a photo of your target. You mean take a picture? Exactly. If we have some sort of visual representation of it, it will be easier for us to gather data on what we're dealing with. There's already plenty of data on security devices on the terminal that you carry on you. Hey, Jude! Wasatorashiko, hang on. Why is she doing this? What is happening? Oh. Philia suddenly called out my name with a strangely affected voice. She took a... Oh, damn it. Why is she doing... Princess Madeline, Philia is so small. She's incredibly small. Why are we doing this with her? This is not safe. Taking little girl into the heavily armored city is not standard procedure, in my opinion. The moment I had rolled and turned to her, she clicked the shutter button on her terminal. Huh? It's all white. Apparently all that she got was a Snow White picture. That's not what you promised me. As if I'd let somebody get a data on me this easily. I made sure to obstruct it. To jam it. How did you do that? It's still much too difficult to tell you. Is what I told her, but... The simple explanation is that the terminal I have is the master device, while Philia's is registered as a slave device. If you know how to do it and try really hard, it is possible to hack the master device from the slave device, obviously. So his terminal stopped her from taking a picture of him because her terminal is programmed to not take pictures of him. Alright, I'll ask you one more time. Are you sure that you don't want to carry a gun on you? I don't want to. She just doesn't change. There's no way of getting across her thick head. Hang on. He likes using big words that I do not know, and it bothers me because I like writing fast, and I do not like having to look up this many words. But I will learn, and the more words I learn, the better it works. Okay. If this town had been completely inoperable and dead, I wouldn't have to deal with this. But sadly, that's not the case. Okay, but if we tried to avoid the city and made a detour around it, we would have to go all around the mountain range. I want to avoid that. Do not walk in front of me. Stay on your guard and duck behind me. You understand why, right? Yeah, because you're better at scanning for enemies, right? Exactly. Please listen to me. Ah, roger that. I wonder where she learned that word. Ah, the way she just saluted at me was just so strangely human. Wow, this place is so big. It's kind of scaring me. The weight of the site of the heart of the city that must have once been a residential place, but had become ruins now, was pressing down on us. Are we gonna enter that building? I would honestly prefer if we didn't. Did you forget my warning? We want to avoid any place that we do not know if it could be dangerous. That is our basic rule. However, if we are able to assure that a place is definitely safe, then we should absolutely enter it. I wonder if people long ago all lived in a place like this. I wonder what that felt like. Hang on. There's a katakana word here that I don't know. That's rare. It looks like cream, but it's not cream. Oh, it's claim. That makes sense. According to the records we have left, that people who lived in peaceful large cities generally had better mental stability and had a great pride in their social status because of this. They could lay claim to the honor of living in a place like this. It was ultimate. And is that bad? Princess Madeline, lol, people in cities have better mental health. Well, the thing is, like, what he's saying is basically, it's difficult to translate on the fly, but what he's saying is that the people who lived in the city have, like, a feeling of, like, belonging together, of pride, of living in this great metropolis. There was, like, a sense of, like, arrogance almost about being part of this community. So Phileas like, were they bad people for that? And he's like, no, that was just normal that was just normal tribal human behavior. It's what it means to feel like you belong to a certain group of people. I mean, they definitely have something to be proud of. After all, they spent so many generations living in this high-tech city. Princess Madeline, civic pride or community. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, Phileas just, Konopia? Okay, there's one word here that I need to clear up. Hang on. I prefer it when I don't have to constantly stop. I hope I'm not boring that way. But this is not that hard to understand. I just want to make sure. Small. Okay. In order to smoothly convey what I meant, okay. Okay. Conveying so smoothly what I meant was supposed to make my little passenger Philia happy about this place. But somehow it seems I wasn't able to completely explain the utopia that was this ancient city to her, or properly make her grasp it. Well, I guess that's just human, though. The thing is, like, Jude assumes that Philia is supposed to, like, everybody is supposed to agree with his, like, ideal of what is cool and awesome and everything, but, like, Philia doesn't like the tribalism. And he doesn't understand that. So he blames it on her not understanding the greatness of the utopia. It seems Philia wasn't able to accept what I told her. I get the feeling like this was a really awesome place long ago. Probably, yes. No. So this place certainly gave the impression of a city that must have been quite beautiful and white until its inevitable fall. Zaczniemy z doobożki. There were even... Wait, I need to make sure that I don't get it wrong! Yeah, that's exactly. There were even certain structures like water fountains and such here. This must have been a place where the citizens of the city used to relax. He likes just to imagine. I love how Jude likes to imagine what life must have been like before the apocalypse. He has like all these great imaginations of what it must have been like. He never thinks of really the bad parts. There were also plenty of places to shield yourself or seek for shelter. We decided to spend the night here we decided to spend the night in that place. I checked that the surrounding area was safe and then set up camp. Philia, we added Philia's equipment to mine and put it out and made some exchanges. Okay. Does this sword pull out? Does this pole pull out? That's a shotgun attachment. Oh, okay, this is something else. Ah. Oh. Hey, did the back end of that gun fall out? That's a shotgun attachment. I don't use it, so I took it off. You're not using it because it's calm, right? No, I took it off because I don't need it here. There are no wild beasts around here. How do you know that? In our current, there are barely any plants around us right now. If there's no food, or if there's no food that they could nourish themselves with, then neither herbivores nor the carnivores hunting for them can live here. I used my information gathering devices in order to survey the plant life in the area, and those were my results. Maddie in chat. Live translation is hard. Honestly, I couldn't imagine doing something like this, even if I still knew another language well enough to actually try. So, I think you're doing great. Oh, thank you. It wasn't as if I had directly surveyed the presence of animals in the area. This is what it means to have great experience in being on the lookout for enemies. Oh! Sragadan. Hang on. Okay. The slack ammunition in this is very heavy. When there are no beasts around, it is much better if you take it off so you can use it easier. Wow, Jude, you sure have a lot to keep track of, huh? I bet I would keep track of these things, else I wouldn't be alive for much longer. And you would better keep track of these things as well, because if you do, you will probably die just moments after becoming human. Okay, I don't want that. I'll do my best. You know, I've been thinking, once I'm human, I do want to become a courier. Oh, you do? That's nice. Work hard towards your goal. So please keep telling me everything you know, okay, Jude? Yeah, I will. Do you think I have talent for being a courier? I wonder about that. You'll just have to show us, then we'll know. I'll try. I want to be at least half as good as you. Little daughter. Oh no! What is she doing? What is he thinking about now? She was burying me in praise, acting very humble. No, that's not really what she was doing, come to think. Okay, let's try this again. I need to slow down a little because I'm tiring myself out too easily earlier. Okay. Such praise, such a humble attitude. But she was sadly completely wrong. After all, Philly had already failed to pass the first hurdle by failing to accept to carry a weapon. She could never become a courier like this. That was the honest truth. But I wasn't going to tell her that. I was going to teach her at very least until she understood this. I think you could become a courier if you put an honest, straightforward effort into it. Mrs. Leslie in the chat. Me at the start of this turn. Yay, I'm going to get another star. Mrs. Leslie, me at the end of the turn. I have 0 coins. Oh dear. Oh no. Really? Yes. What is he? Jude is sending me mixed messages. I felt a little prick inside my heart. Oh, inside my chest. Oh. I ignored it. He's feeling guilty for lying at her. Oh. Oh no. I am not young and naive enough anymore to let a little prick like this bother me. Princess Madeline, he's sawing very slowly. We didn't even have enough time to feel relieved when we suddenly picked up tremors on the floor. I deleted? No. I extinguished the flame. In exchange for the shotgun I had taken off, I quickly equipped a grenade. Hey, you were just talking about needing to move around lightly. Why are you putting something so heavy looking on now? I just had a bad feeling just now. I picked up all of our luggage again. While keeping myself aware of my surroundings. There was nothing that seemed especially dangerous around. We're moving again. Stay right behind me. Oh, okay. The place that we had been in, that seemed like something of a tourist district. We left it and moved towards the south with slow steps. Wish we could have seen inside those houses. Get that thought out of your head. If we do make any mistakes, then the security systems might go off. But I wonder if there's anything really nice left inside. I'm sure there's nothing left inside. I'm sure people packed up everything in the days before this place was abandoned and took it with them. By the way, and even if they hadn't taken everything with them, this is a residential district. You don't really find treasure here. Ah, that's a shame. If you really want to examine this place closer, we'll do it another time when we have the time. Right, I'll do it like that. Once I'm human and a real courier. Staying on guard about enemies. We entered an older living district. Oh wait, we moved through the old living district. We moved through the old living district. I need to, yeah. Ayumi wa yuru. Ayumi wa yuru yaka. Yuru yaka? Okay. Nada. He likes to use constructions that I see rarely. I made sure to not slack off as we kept walking along. However, my instincts were telling me that we needed to leave this place as quickly as possible. Randy is here! Hi, Randy! Randy in the chat. Once I'm human, I'll search for treasure. That's the spirit. Princess Madeline, what's the point of having ancient ruins if there's no treasure to find? Good argument. But I just think that the pictures are neat. I just think they're neat. Was I afraid of something? Was it the fact that that the city was still alive itself? Was this giving me worry? No, this wasn't all. I could feel it. Wow, this place really is awesome! When we arrived at the center of the city, at what we believed to be the center of the city, Philia raised her head and looked up, holding her breath. Right ahead of her line of sight laid a gigantic... what is this? Hang on. No? Oh! Right ahead of our line of sight lay a dense forest of buildings. That seemed like a skyscraper made of many. Oof. Okay, electromagnetic resonance, electromagnetic repellation, toxini. There's so many sci-fi terms here. Oh, the buildings were so rich with electromagnetic signals that even on the highest settings, my information gathering devices were not able to give me any proper enemy scans. Ooh. We may have been able to see our surroundings with our eyes, but to our digital devices, this place was impenetrable and invisible. This city was impenetrable and invisible. The only thing I was able to figure out was that the buildings continued on in a straight line ahead of us for another 480 meters. Philia too was as surprised as I'd never seen her before. Princess Madeline, urban themed dungeon. I know, it's cool. Tenketeki? Okay. He's using a katakana, but that I am not sure. Akoroji? Okay, oh, this is typical architectural ecology. Architectural ecology, I don't know what that means. Oh, yes, he does, Nita! Ecology? Oh. Chico. This is something where I think I would have to look up the words even if it was in German, honestly. I mean that I'm talking about the city. It automatically completes itself. It automatically what completes itself? Oh my god. Is this a self-repairing place? Wait, what? Are we in Epcot or something? Oh, can you see how uncountable many of these buildings are linked above at the overpass? We're Ninja Nano Machines, so many too. No, it's not Nano Machines, they are linked, right? I can't see it. How good are your eyes exactly? I don't know. So even her eyes were just average for a human. The people who lived up there were able to go from building to building without ever leaving to the outside. So they just always stayed inside? Exactly. They never had to go outside into the area where it was dangerous. Outside where it was dangerous. And could stay in peace inside in the higher areas. Oh, I see. This is just my speculation, but I think that when this place, these buildings were built, nobody already lived down here. Okay, so I understand it now. It's like the city the inner city is a closed system that nobody is supposed to leave. It's autark. It's like the ecology is that it like lives. The ecology is that it's like an ecosystem of itself. It's not that it's nanomachines, but like that this city is like was a place that was like completely closed in itself. I see. Huh? Ah. Oh! Ecology means... Ecology is... The point of ecology is to be completely protected from all outside influences. It's a fort. This was a fort! Oh! Princess Madeline's city pots. Yeah, this was a fortress. The citizens stayed all their lives in the inner city. Because that was the safest place for them to be. Was it that dangerous back then? If it hadn't been so dangerous, there would have been no reason to build and to live in a place like that. It would have been far more comfortable to live in an open space where you could conduct trade and exchange with outside areas. Kenzo. Okay. I got it wrong. Okay. A long time ago, this inner city must have been built first. And then, after a long time passed, and people lived there, the city around it must have grown out of it. You think that's how it happens? The peaceful days might have continued. The people let their guard down, no longer feeling threatened by the outside world, and decided to put foot outside of the fortress, and where they decided to more and more of them decided to live, or at least that's how I imagine it. You see, living inside an ecologically constructed fortress gives people a sense of wait. What's the term in English? I knew that term. Cabin. Oh, okay. You see, living in an ecologically constructed fortress over a long time gives people cabin sickness. This keeps the numbers of citizens low. I wonder what happened here. That is why in this area, the further away you get from the city, the lower the standards of civilization become. And Mrs. Leslie, well, update, I lost and Donkey Kong had the most stars. I love how there's just Mario Party going on by the side while I do this. So they've lived in peace here, and they still lost at everything in the end. Well, everything is lost and falls to ruins in the very end. I feel sorry for them. Sorry for because of what? They tried so hard and built such a pretty city around their fortress, and then in the end they all died anyway. Wait, I need his words again. Hi, Mary! Randy in chat, what else is there to do in a closed system city than playing Mario Party all day? I want to get this right. I know what he's saying, but I want to get this exactly right. I'm being meticulous today. Whatever, I'm using the other dictionary. Okay, I'm reading this entire paragraph again. They tried so hard and built such a beautiful city around the fortress, and then they all died anyway. And Jude answers, say, is your central processing unit made of flowers and sunshine or something? Huh? Are you trying to make fun of me? As we were chatting like this, I slowly started to feel more at ease. We kept walking straight ahead into the center of the city. Just as I had expected. Toshiwa... Okay. The actual city was closed off from the residential districts, I think is what it's saying. Let me check. Yeah, it was isolated from the residential districts. Princess Madeline in the chat, her CPU is made of sugar, spice, and everything nice, obviously. Oh. Okay, that's a word I don't even know in English. What the heck? What's a rampart? What is a rampart? Help! It's a film? It's a fortification? It's a defensive mount of Earth. Okay. Thank you. The inner city was built on top of a rampart, which clearly served the purpose to fortify it against intrusion from the outside. Hey, can you tell me why that gate is so huge? What Philia was talking about was the gate that served as the entrance to the inner city. It was many stories from the bottom up. It was many stories tall, many tens of stories tall, and floated up there in an unnatural position. The only reason it hadn't come loose and fallen down yet was because it was firmly embedded in the outer walls. I believe back then there must have been a slope here that would have led people up there. Huh? Princess Madeline in the chat, God, it's funny. Americans are indoctrinated from an early age to know the word rampart. But before you said anything, I don't think I would have been able to say what it meant. Oh my gosh! Look, this is just proving my point that Jude is using big words that I don't know. Toki to tomo ni. Ah. As time passed, it slowly withered away. Leaving behind this masterpiece. Oh. Then I guess there's no longer any way inside the city, huh? Yeah, that's how it appears to be. That's quite the situation we're in here. Oh, god damn it, why is there a bot again? Wait, Randy, you can't see the bot? You can't see the bot, Randy? Oh no, but you're the... Randy, please, you're the mod. Go in the live chat. Let me kill the bot real quick. Whew. Randy in chat, I couldn't see Maddie's message either. Yeah, you're probably in top chat then. You need to go to live chat. When we continued in further, we came across a cave that must have been created during a cave-in of the ground around. Peering through the hole inside, we could see some of the mechanisms that were running underneath the city. The fundamental mechanisms of the city. They were stuck deep into the ground and very huge. Those things controlled the entire city. For a moment, I was considering if it would be possible to enter the city from here. Because as firmly protected and fortified the city was, nobody had ever considered the idea that anybody might try to intrude from beneath. Which meant that as long as this pillar had some sort of maintenance path built in, the possibility that we would be able to enter the base of the city from here and enter the upper floors was very high. It was such a tempting plan. If I was a single adventurer, that is. But as a courier, and for the exact same reasons that I explained to Philia earlier, I had to decline this idea from myself. It would just be a detour that wasn't necessary. And a needless danger. Jude, are we gonna go into the dark, deep place? No, we won't. We absolutely won't. Yeah, it stinks down there. Hang on. She was right. A dreadful stench was rising from the hole. Mary in the chat, good call, my man. Never go into shady ass dark caves. Very true. I wonder if there's some sort of leakage inside there. You mean water? It would make sense. After all, this hole was created because the earth collapsed around it. Oh wait. No? Hey, there's not that much water left. Is it gonna drain? Are we gonna drain some? She was gesturing at the water bottle she was using. talking about urgent problems. Oh! Oh, I see. Okay. Stop it, Philia. Stop it, Philia. The water down there is extremely polluted. Ugh. Okay, yeah, I don't want that. The inner facilities of the ecology city were mostly located upstairs. Elo in the chat, who knows? You could find sword-wielding creepers in there. Maddie in chat, I was gonna make a comment about bears personally, but that's true too. Oh dear. In jokes. Occupation. Joy? Okay. The most highest class citizens of the town lived on the were occupied on the highest floors, but the opposite wasn't necessarily true. I wondered what was going on the lower floors. Poor people, the poor folk probably gathered there. So the haves and the have-nots were being separated like this. Oh, class divide! That was the time of the ecology cities. The age of the ecology cities. Okay. Princess Madeline, class segregation, stupid rich assholes in the ecological cities. Yep. That was the time of the ecology cities. The era of national societies had faded from the eyes of the people. I wonder how many hundreds of years it had taken for it all to change into societies of closed little fortresses like this. It was very difficult to even just estimate the time spans it must have taken. Generally, all cities... Wait, hang on. Generally, all cities grow where water can be saved. I wonder, this down here must have been the collected used bad water of the entire city. That is flowing out of it. Just as much as the city had consumed. Everything that the city had consumed. All the waste, and even some dead bodies might be included in it. Okay, he's explaining how gross the water is. Hang on. I need to make a picture of how gross the water really is. Did they just flush their... Wait, is he just implying that they just... I was thinking about what he said just now. Is he implying that they just flushed their dead bodies down the drain in that city? Because that is kind of horrifying. Okay. Any unsanitary ecological material. Poisonous vermin. Poisonous vermin. Mice. That's also vermin! You keep saying that! Materials that could have caused illness. All sorts of toxins gathered here. Mary, Jesus! Yeah, I know. Without special equipment, taking water from here was incredibly risky, even just to replenish. Princess Madeline, Elton, Mary in the chat, I can't even bring myself to make a dark plumbing joke. That's just objectively horrifying. Mary in the chat. Alternatively, there could have been something like catacombs that collapsed and mixed into the water when the ground broke up. That's also possible. Alright, the path over there seems safe. Let's go there. I started to walk and Philia followed after me. I think we're going to get through here without getting... Oh. Looks like we're really gonna go through here without going inside anywhere. She's sad about it. Yes, because that's the safest way to do it. I know, but aren't you just the least bit curious, Jude? Obviously, I am curious. Probably 10 times as curious as you are. But right now, my highest priority is to escort you. Escort me? Escort you to the place where all your dreams will come true. Don't you want to go there? Oh, yes! Please escort me! I looked at the map while we were walking. We should try to stay in the residential districts. If somebody sees us here, we're in big trouble. Hang on. Okay. The place we were at right now was right at the knees of the city, and the buildings here were rather badly fortified. Many of them had been involved in some sorts of cave-ins or collapses, and so most of them were destroyed. Jude, you're always scared of other people. Yes, because when you do what I do, people are the most frightening thing. When I said this, Philia made a rather troubled face. However, she didn't complain any further. I think she already had an idea what I was going to tell her if she tried to. There it is. I found a space where the earth had solidified somewhat, and we would be able to walk on a rather bad but firm road. Hang on. Okay. Taking this path would still be easier than going through the forest or over the mountains. As Philia walked behind me, she picked up a doll that she found. She tried to pick up a doll that she found lying by her feet. Huh? The doll immediately ripped into two. The half of it stayed behind on the floor, while the upper half started to crumple away into dust. This is creepy. What is she doing? Randy chat, people are the most frightening things in any context, that's true. I feel sorry for the doll. I got a notification that the main battery was about to run dry. The batteries had drained much faster than I had anticipated she would. Which was probably because we had to walk around the inner city. Oh, I accidentally skipped the line there, hang on. Suddenly, a distorted silhouette came. Several distorted silhouettes were shown to me. Oh wait, I got the... Oh, I got... Okay, that isn't the line I skipped. The closer I got to the inner city, the higher the effort that was needed for scans. That's why this was happening. Suddenly, several distorted silhouettes appeared. I stopped walking and lowered my arms. Ah! Philia, who had been walking behind me, bumped into my behind. As I was looking around, Philia lined up behind me and hid herself. Okay, I see. The yellow that the silhouettes had been shown in was a color that I had marked down myself in the settings. It showed me on the overlay when in case that the line in my line of sight Fuban mono. Oder Butze? It's kind of hard to know sometimes. What does Fuban mean? Okay, it's not Fuban. Okay, let me try to write it. I think it means unrecorded. Okay, something suspicious. Something suspicious. Okay. Okay, I see. It was a mark that showed that whether in my line of sight there were any suspicious objects or objects of phenomenons on my overlay. See you, Ilu. Bye bye. What's wrong? There's a corpse. What? There's a... What? I could feel her gulp behind me. Oh. Oh dear. Oh my dear. It's a skeleton. Okay. Oh dear. God said it He said, Jimen ni Tsukitatteru Genmoto ni. I'm trying to explain what he's saying, but it's a little... Princess Madeline, here's the Halloween part of the section, oh dear. When the leftover Halloween decor happens on occasion, we've just left October after all, oh dear. Yep, now I know what my teacher meant with Halloween special. Okay, I need to put... you know what? I can't pass this specific sentence. I am allowed to do this once. I am allowed to do this once. I want to know what's going on with skeleton here. I want to go on with going on with Sans here. Explain Sans to me, please. My phone is dying. It does not like me photographing Sans. So. Okay, yeah, that's exactly what it said. There were stakes thrust into the ground, and at their base, a skeleton was crucified. Okay, there were skeletons crucified. Okay! Making it even more obvious! There were 3 of them in total, lined up next to each other. Okay, I'm sorry, this is... he said this is the Halloween special, I say this is the Easter special. It's a little early, but happy Easter, everyone! He died for your... Sans died for your sins. When you had 3 of them, of course. Yeah. Sans the skeleton died for sins. Princess Madeline, oh cool, Jesus imagery. Yeah. Each of the skeletons had a tire wrapped around their neck. They seem to have been burned up as they died. They seem to have died by burning up. They were burnt on the stake. Are those witches? Are those 3 witches? Well, one of them, it looks very Jesus though. A little away from them. Amethyst Leslie in the chat, happy Easter, question mark. Well, here we are. Okay, I see. They were probably killed by having Okay. Okay. I think I'm getting what he's saying, but I want to translate it good because I need to make him sound smart because he is smart. As I approached him a little, I brought out my analyzers resources. As soon as I'd reached a certain distance, as I'd passed half the distance, I was getting some dating results regarding the remains. Those are really old. I let my guard down again a little bit. But Philia just seemed to be even more alarmed. I looked around. We didn't seem to be observed by anyone. Which meant that we would have at least a chance to examine this a little bit. Jude, those are... If you don't want to see them, then don't look at them. Were they killed? They were executed. But why? Okay. I have no way of knowing. Apparently they died over 20 years ago. However, the way they were killed was hatefully brutal. I think they must have been whoever executed them must have been their bitter enemies. Wendy in the chat, remind me how Klaus died again? He was stoned to death and then he exploded. He was stoned to death and then he exploded. That's what happened. Princess Madeline, which means they probably weren't killed by machines. Yeah, that's true. Hang on. Ah, that's not what I wanted. Ah, I keep getting the wrong kanji. Let me do this again. I didn't want two kanji, I wanted one. Let me do this again. Okay. Now we got it. Okay, yeah. Why do I keep forgetting this kanji? It means crucifixion. The way in which, the direction in which they were crucified was struck my notice. All three skeletons were crucified with a clear sight of the inner city. So they were like all facing the city. Was this supposed to mean something? Why? This might have been some sort of... This might have been some... Oh! This might have been some sort of warning. As if to tell anybody else, this is our turf. Do not approach. But why? Girl is crying. Just when I was thinking how strange it was that Philia kept repeating this word, she suddenly burst into tears. I don't want anything like this anymore. They did it to survive, to keep the enemies away from them so they could survive. And then I remembered her again. And I remembered that she too said things like this so many times. That it was cruel. I always tried to answer her questions with logic back then. All her doubts. I kept telling her that that was just what it meant to be human. And that sometimes you needed violence. And that it was just logical. But obviously, women are not equipped to understand this reality. sexist. I'm just saying, he's just sexist. Princess Madeline in the chat, the human condition sucks, I don't want it anymore. Randy in the chat, I think the comment that they must be hated makes sense. Tires set on fire burned for a long time. Oh dear, so if they were burned along with being crucified, they were lit for a long time. Oh dear. Mary in the chat, shoot, shut the F up, man. Now is not the time. Eventually, this led to us not this led to our relationship growing strained. I didn't understand what to do. I had to use a gun to fight. It was simple logic for me. But now I'm thinking about it. Maybe it wasn't logic. Maybe those were just my feelings. Don't think about it too deeply. Let's go. Princess Madeline, oh, I think I ate my last message. It ate my last message due to having the F word. Whatever's point is shoot sucks. He kind of does. Mary in the chat, shoot doing the aliens pose from the History Channel. Women. Don't think about it too much. Let's go. The music in this is so good. But even on my urging, she didn't move. Having seen the human death right before her, she had shaken up Philia's emotions extremely. That wasn't good news. After all, I couldn't guarantee that we would never run into a situation like this ever again. Maybe. Huh? Maybe this just happens because people have problems. Problems? Maybe because they don't have enough to eat. Or they don't have enough to keep for themselves. Maybe stuff like this just keeps piling up, and then bad things happen. Hang on. Well, I suppose that is an extremely clear logic that you have there. If only everybody had enough for themselves, then there would be no conflict. Nobody would have to fight. I was thinking about telling her that I didn't know about that, but I held my tongue. Even today, we still had working technology that could purify enough water for extreme high amounts of water for everyone and produce enough food to feed many people. And even so, we still lived the way that we live now. It was because we had machines that were able to feed over thousands and thousands of people that cities of this scale had been able to be created. But even so, there was always a 1,001st person who wasn't able to be saved by this, and who was chased out. That was just what reality looked like. When you chat, oh Filio, you'd be surprised. Yeah. What was the point in trying to grieve every single injustice like this? Let's go. Just because they were executed so long ago, there's no telling if there might not be any living people still around here. Philia didn't move. I understood that she wasn't exactly the type to follow orders. But this wasn't because she was resisting my orders. She just couldn't move. She looked just like a person who was emotionally exhausted, who time had stood still for. This is the last line of today. In the end, I had no choice but to sit and patiently wait for Philia to start walking again. And with this, today's session is over. So, save. Randy chat, good session, Metal Gear out of 10. There was less sneaking than I expected, sadly. There was some sneaking, not all of the sneaking, just some sneaking. But hey, we had a nice session. Okay. Let us do our read assignment and summarize what we have learned yesterday and today. Since we did this over 2 days, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to load the save that we made last week. Sorry! As I was saying, I was going to load the save that we made last week. Click. Oh wait, no, I don't want to overwrite, I want to load. That would have been bad. And we're going to rush to see where we were. Oh yeah, we started last time in the forest. Oh yeah, we started in the forest with Philia trying to... So, let's see. We started in the forest with Philia trying to help Jude, trying to learn what's going on, but she's just really not suited towards Jude's way of doing things. She's very like cheery, she's she's looking at bugs. She's fascinated by the mushrooms, almost touching the poison mushrooms that might have given her burns. She's just, all in all, acting like a little girl acts when you take a walk through the forest with her. So they stay for the night at an old truck. And I think, if we continue here... Yeah, I see. This is the point where Jude... Oh yeah, okay, here 2 things happened here. This was the point where Jude tried to, first, not make Philia any food. To try and see... Firstly, to conserve food, and secondly, to see if she actually needed food to live. However, she ended up, thanks for the bless you. Princess Madeline, Philia got to learn what trauma is. I think she'll be very traumatized by the end of this all. So, he tried to make her not eat any dinner to see if she could go without dinner for a while. However, she almost started to cry, which he couldn't take, so eventually he just made her a little bit of food regardless and decided, okay, I'm just gonna have to feed her. There's nothing I can do about it. And then, as they did that, and they were slowly approaching less known areas that are not mapped out really well, more dangerous and all that, so he wants to hand Philia the handgun that he bought in the town. And Philia absolutely refuses to take it, because she doesn't want to kill people, or actually anything, as we'll see. And as we saw, Philia violently pushed back against taking the handgun, which results in her knocking over the tea that Jude had prepared. Don't mind my brother in the other room. Did I just take a screenshot? Okay. Backlog. Philia's refusal to take a gun does remind Jude of the woman we saw in this short flashback earlier. And it turns out that the woman also, like Philia, was very anti-violent, didn't want him to use guns, or at least wanted him to... She wasn't a vegetarian, but she wanted him to not be this blasé about killing. Wanted him to understand that she thinks the way how easy he thinks that all this is cruel. Which is interesting because we're getting to this humanity theme again. What does humanity really mean? Does Jude actually have less humanity? We'll discuss this in a bit. In any case, now that that Jude has realized that Philia will need to be fed, he has decided, okay, we're gonna have to hunt. They run into some deer, and Philia at first is like, yay, it's a family of deer. There's the mama deer and the daddy deer and the little baby deers. And then Jude is like, steak. And this is that moment. Because Philia is just like, no, don't shoot the Bambi. And Jude is like, you need food. I need food. So at this point, Philia is like, wait, no, I'm not gonna eat anything anymore. I don't need food anymore, I promise. And he's just like, maybe you don't, but I do. It's time for Bambi's mom to die. I'm sorry, it's just, I'm mean, but it is like that. So yeah, she she goes in between, he yells at her, and for a moment he even tries to strangle her, because she went in between, she chased his game away, it made him really angry, and he actually tries to strangle her, but he lets go. She's scared, she apologizes, and here we have a flashback again, with the girl that he remembers. So, at this point, Jude again tries to defuse the situation to make sure that, basically to stay on in Philia's good graces, because he still needs her, obviously. Randy chat, this is how Bambi canonically started. So, they decide to get up some ingredients instead. They gather up some spices, fruit, and Jude realizes that, oh yeah, fish are not cute. Fish are very uncute. Let's fish. So he fishes some catfish and fries them up. And then he remembers that, oh yeah, that trick worked on my friend too. She was the same like this. And finally Philia, like, yeah, Philia is okay with eating the fish. Because fish are not people, but Bambi is a person. It's like basically how Jude described this, as I remember, is that like, yeah, people like this have a problem when you kill mammals, but as soon as it's fish, they suddenly don't care anymore. It's funny because he even points out that his friend also was not a vegetarian. She just didn't want to hunt. Oh yeah, at a little on later, they get a lot of different notifications on the screen that are unusual, and Philia actually thinks her terminal might be broken, but it is not broken. They have just found a city, which is the city we went into. So the thing is, like, Jude is like extremely not surprised, but like kind of alarmed by this, because yeah, the map doesn't really fit anymore. They have no informations on this area, and he didn't even know that there was like a city like this here, which is putting a dent in his plans, because they need to go through there in order to avoid going past the beach, which he wants to avoid, because if they go past the beach, they might run into wild people, which he doesn't want to do. So as a result, they run into the city, and Jude is like, oh shit, if we accidentally trip up any sort of security mechanisms here, we might end up having the entire singularity raising, like the entire worldwide singularity raising their level of alarm against us, and then we might accidentally destroy all of humanity for good. So we should be very careful. We can't trip up anything in the city. We need to be extremely careful. So he again and again explains to Philia, this is dangerous. Stay behind me. Do not move out of my shadow. We need to do what we can to not be noticed as we pass through here by any machines, because this city is still operational. We also have Philia here still being extremely annoyed by the idea that Jude might shoot down a person if he ran into one. Yeah, and Philia thinks like, maybe we shouldn't run into people if you're gonna shoot them down. Let's just not run into anybody. And this is probably when so we ran into the city. Oh yeah, Philia is not taking this as seriously as he wants. He calls the animals that they might run into little critters. She really does not seem that scared of the city. She doesn't seem at all scared of the city. She just seems very interested by it. She wants to explore the buildings. She wants to look inside. Obviously, they can't do that. Oh yeah, this is the point where she tried to take a picture of him, because she told her that if she saw any sort of security devices that they need information on, she should quickly take a picture and try to stay out of the radius. She tries to take a picture of him. It doesn't work because her terminal is a slave device to his terminal, which means that it refuses to take pictures of the master device. Cool in the chat. Philia, no fighting. Yeah, very much. Madeline in the chat. So Philia would be okay with poultry, I suppose. Wendy in the chat. The hypocrisy of the human condition. Yeah. So yeah, this is where they entered, like, the space where they wanted to spend the night. But it didn't quite turn out that way, because Jude sensed the tremor. So Jude goes on guard again and has Philia stay behind him. And again he tells her, stay behind me, be quiet, be careful. They end up walking about. They find the inner city and realize that it was like a closed system of a city. That, as he calls it, what did he call it again? What did he call it again? Ecology, yeah. He calls the city like an ecological city. It's like closed in itself. It's a fortress that is that is extremely difficult to penetrate, which is depressing to live in, but it is extremely safe to live in. And he explained that like around these cities formed smaller townships from the people who decided to live outside those fortresses. We are not explained where these fortresses came from, but that they were highly advanced. And that people like left them and built cities around. But this one has been destroyed. Mostly. Ecology, exactly. When you jet electromagnetic particles, son. Oh yeah, also that, you're right, that was also the fact that Jude can't get a good scan of the city because there's so many electromagnetic signals that they can't get a proper scan of the city. Princess Madeline, floating self-sufficient city pod. Pretty much. Not sure if it floats though. The door was like in the middle though. In the middle of the rock. Oh yeah, that's also coming, like they can't enter the city because it's built on a, you said rampart, I think is what it's called? Rampart, on a rampart, yeah. It's built on a rampart, like on a hill. It's fortified and the gate is at an elevation where you would need a ramp to reach it, but that ramp apparently hasn't existed for quite a long time. So by now it is impossible to actually get inside that city. So they have to go around it. Through the like suburbs of the city. Yeah. Then they see like that underground cave through which you might be able to enter through the pillars of the city, through which you might be able to use a maintenance tunnel to get in, but they decide against it because it's too dangerous. And even though Jude is like extremely interested in exploring the inner city, he decides that it's just too much of a risk. He also stops Philia from taking some water from a leakage there, explaining to her that it is highly polluted water and it would just create, like it would just be a hazard for them to take that. It's also very stinky, and he explains that probably all of the waste from the entire inner city, including dead bodies and vermin, once went down there. So, yeah, Philia, as they continue on and Jude looks for a safe path to travel through around the inner city, through the suburbs, Jude tells Philia again to stay on guard in case actual humans show up. To which Philia is again, you're always scared of people? I don't get it. And he is just frustrated that he can't get it in her head that humans can be dangerous. So they move on further. The battery of their terminal starts to run out because they've like gone around for so long. And then we run into Happy Easter, everyone! We run into 3 skeletons that have been crucified and set on fire about 20 years ago. And they have been crucified facing the city. And Jude concludes that they were probably executed as a sort of warning to scare people off from trying to approach whoever killed them's turf. Happy Halloween, happy Easter. Yeah, Philia is once again traumatized. She breaks down crying, which once again reminds Jude of his lady friend. and he starts to consider that maybe all the logic he always used to argue against his lady friend with, all the cold logic that killing is necessary for survival and so, might not actually have been logic, but just his personal, like, might just have been, it might not have been about logic, but about feelings all along. Philia says that Philia tries to justify it in her mind to herself that, like, people only fight because there's sparsities, because there's reasons. People only fight for reasons, for good reasons. And if all those problems were solved, if all of humanity's problems were solved, they would never fight like this again. But Jude does not believe in this because he knows that there have been post-scarcity technologies already at that time. So he knows it's more than just that. But he doesn't tell her that. There's a lot of things he doesn't tell her. There's a lot of things he just doesn't tell her, like... He doesn't tell her that he doesn't believe in her being able to become a courier of her own. He doesn't tell her that he doesn't believe in her dream of becoming a human. And he doesn't tell her about how cruel the reality can be, or how cruel he thinks reality is. But she just can't. But emotionally, it's not satisfying to her. And so they have to wait for a while until Philia is able to overcome the shock that has frozen her in place. And they can finally move on. And that is the part that we had to play this week and had to read this week. Mary in the chat, Easter was quite a while ago, Nanny. Well, those 3 crucified people tell me otherwise. So, what have we learned today? Princess Madeline, give her a hug, you doofus. It's not hugging time yet. So, as always, it is very clear that Jude, while he tries to pretend that he doesn't see Philia as a person, he shows a lot of enjoyment in actually teaching her. He tells Philia so many things, teaches her so many things that he has no need to teach her. But he clearly enjoys having someone around to talk to explain the things that interest him to. He clearly likes talking to her. He even admits that he calms down while talking to her at one point. So it's clearly not that he dislikes her at all, but he still, whenever she challenges him, that's when he gets angry, when he once again points out to himself that she's a machine. Whenever she challenges his worldview by rejecting violence or being more idealistic in a way that he doesn't approve of because his ideals are different, that is always when she makes him angry, and sometimes angry enough to the point that he almost wants to commit a violence on her, which he doesn't because maybe he doesn't because he actually doesn't want to, but to us he says that he doesn't because he still needs her. It's a utility thing, you know, because she's like his cargo. But he's starting to like the fact that she actually reminds him of an old friend of his, somebody he used to know, no song jokes please, is very interesting. Because he can't like deny her humanity if she reminds him of someone that he had a close bond to. So, It was also interesting how the game points out that Philia doesn't like the idea of shooting down, like, cute animals. But it's not like she's a vegetarian or a vegan. Like, not at all. And, like, Jude even points out that it was the same with his old friend. So it's not really about them having some sort of unbreakable ideology or it being somehow a part of a belief system. As Jude said towards the end here, it's more about feelings. And I think that's actually something that is like, if there's any specific moral I take away from this fragment or from this reading, it's that the humanity that we see in these reflected in this writing so far, has less to do with the ideals that Jude like held so high, like technological advancements, the pride of like living in something that is like highly advanced. Those are all things that Jude finds important for humanity, but that is not the humanity he sees in Philia or in the old friend of his. That humanity he sees in them is just very spontaneous, spontaneous empathy, terror and sadness in the face of cruelty, just the ability to care, basically, which is something that for him he sees more as a hindrance. It's something that he thinks makes him weaker or more likely to die. And the fact that, like, of course, immediately the moment Philia says she's never gonna wield a gun, he's like, yeah, you're not, to himself, you're not gonna be a courier then. But at the same time, when he has to talk to her about her idea of becoming a courier when she's human, he like just tells her that she can do it if she does her very best. And to me, that doesn't read like he's just trying to be nice to her, to make her feel like to manipulate her into liking him, so he has a better relationship with her. But to me, it does read like he wants her to believe that she can do it, and he wants her to learn to wield a gun eventually. Like he tells us some things, but I don't think that he believes everything that he tells us. I think a lot of it is just him refusing to. He's being stubborn. He doesn't want to change his stance on things. Princess Madeline in the chat. Humanity is characterized by their emotions, not their logic. I agree. I think that's something that is trying to be communicated here. Wendy in the chat. Since it does seem like he has little belief in her own capabilities, but ultimately I feel like it would result in her getting a worldview that's still mostly her own. Like maybe his feelings of her, these feelings of hers that people just enter conflict because they have good reasons to do so, will feed into a complex of hers to save everyone. Oh, that could very much be the case, I agree. Since she already believes that she'll be able to do that when she becomes human, the development might be interesting. That's true. Like, we're seeing some more like character from Philia here too now. Like, she clearly has this idea. Like, Jude made fun of her when he was saying, is your processing unit made of sunshine and rainbows? But he has a point. She's like, he is an idealist in a very utilitarian way. She is an idealist in a very emotional way. She's like, she very much believes in the good in people, to the point that even having seen those guards way back at the first town, shoot down that wild person, did not change her opinion that you shouldn't hurt humans. It's fascinating how to think about that. Yeah. Have I missed anything very important? I think my takeaway here is mostly that we're getting like a lot of, especially through the flashbacks to that former like lady friend of Jude's, we're getting like a lot of views about how his brand of idealism clashes with Philia's brand of idealism, and how they represent two fundamentally opposed views of what it means to be human, and how his actual conflict with Philia's idea of becoming human doesn't lie with the concept of Philia being human as much as with Philia's idea of what it means to be human being very different from his. Do you guys think I've missed anything? Or was that all? Princess Madeline in the chat, it raises the question of who's the actual human here without actually asking it. That's very true, that's very true. I do like that, I do like that Jude has like a lot of very mechanical traits, like, he like his very utilitarian idea of when it's okay to kill or when not, while Philia has like a lot of traits that we consider fundamentally human. Jude has like gifts of like a very mechanical vibe sometimes. It's a nice dichotomy. Randy in the chat, I don't think you missed anything big that I remember. That's good. Princess Madeline, I think you covered it, but I don't know. That's okay. I think I covered it too. So, I think I got it then. Randy in the chat, did you end up making the claws thread? Yes, I did, but nobody has answered it so far, and it makes me sad. I want somebody to say something about Klaus, the little android boy. Guys, don't let me down. Was this week so busy that nobody had time could find it in their heart to talk about the sad story of Klaus, the android boy? Wait. No, it's still empty. The thread is still empty. If anybody sees this, please talk to me about Klaus. I beg on you. I want to talk about him. Anyway, I think this is a good point to call it a night. Are you guys ready to end the stream? Because I still want to do some writing. It is NaNoWriMo after all. I thank you guys for joining the stream. It was really fun having you guys around. Well then, I'm gonna call it a night here then. Thank you all for joining again. See ya!